Hey guys, what is going on? So today I'm going to do a video that is my top 10 least favorite albums from bands that I like. So I saw fellow YouTuber Caleb Purdue do this, so I figured it'd be fun to do this too. So yeah, it sounded like a fun video idea. Alright, so number 10 is Discharge with Brave New World. So in like the mid to late 80s, a lot of punk bands decided to go glam metal just so that they could make some money, and Discharge was no exception, and this album was just so bad. Like, I don't even know, like, Cal Morris changed his vocal style. It's like he kind of trying to sound like the guy from AC/DC, I guess. He kind of stuck with that vocal style even after his album when they stopped being glam. But this album was just an abortion. Definitely Discharge's worst album in my opinion. And, yeah, it's just really bad. I haven't heard that HR from the Bad Brains dumped a bucket of ice on Cal Morris when they're performing some of the new songs from his, well, at the time, new songs from his album live. But yeah, I don't really have much to say for that album. It's just really bad. Number 9 is Iron Maiden with Virtual XI. I don't know the Roman numerals. I can't read Roman numerals because I'm a retard. But anyways, oh man, like the album before this, what's it called? Fuck, like the X Factor wasn't as bad, but it was okay. Like Bruce Dickinson left the band, he was replaced with Blaze Bayley. And that guy wasn't a bad vocalist. It's just for pretty much any vocalist to fill the shoes of Bruce Dickinson is a really tough thing to do. And I feel kind of bad for the guy, like, you know, filling the shoes of a legendary vocalist, you know. But just this album there's really no redeemable qualities about this album. It's just really boring, and it's not very good. And in my opinion, Iron Maiden's worst. So yeah, I mean, Blaze Bayley, he's not a terrible vocalist. He's just, I don't know, just not as good as Bruce Dickinson. I don't know, can't get into it. Some people like this album, I don't really like it. But yeah. With Iron Maiden, I prefer their like first 6, maybe 7 albums. But yeah. Alright, number 8 is Celtic Frost with Cold Lake. This is a very hated metal album, and it's pretty bad. Like Discharge. I already mentioned this. I said Discharge because Discharge also went glam, and Celtic Frost decided to go glam for no reason, which is super weird, because my little sister screamed. That was annoying. Anyways, they were like, I don't know, I guess they were trying to make more money, or they didn't sell out, because they didn't get popular before this album, like, on a mainstream level, but, you know, it had so many amazing albums before it, you know, Morbid Tales, Megatherion, just amazing extreme metal albums, and then fucking Cold Lake, it's just, it's not as bad as I thought it would be when I first heard it. Like, I had heard how bad it was before I listened to it, and like, when I went to listen to it, I set really, really low standards, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but it's still pretty bad. It's definitely their worst album. So, yeah, number 8 is Celtic Frost with Cold Lake. Number 7 is an album that I actually own, AFI with Burials. I just could not get into this album, like, at all. There was only, like, one song, maybe 2 songs that I like, and the opening track I like, and then I Hope You Suffer is okay, but the rest of the album is just, there's so much filler. They try to go for, like, a more goth-rocky, I mean, they've always have a lot of gothic elements, but they try to go for a really dark atmosphere, but it just doesn't work when they're trying to be, like, really poppy. And AFI, I feel like they've just gotten popular and popular with each album since December Underground or Singing Sorrow. I mean, December Underground and Singing Sorrow has some good songs, but this album just is really boring and just, I don't know. I remember when the album came out being really disappointed, you know. I really liked the album cover, and the artwork direction was really dark and bleak, and they have like a dark atmosphere, but they're playing like pop songs, but it's not even in a good way. Like, it sucks in my opinion. It's just a really boring album, and my least favorite AFI release. Number 6 is another band going glam, TSOL with Hit and Run. I'd say out of all like the punk bands who went glam in like the mid-late 80s, TSOL is probably the one that, like, you know, was the worst one that went glam. And I don't mean the worst punk band. I mean their glam era was the worst out of any other band's glam era. It was so bad. Like, it's really sad too, because like they were on a really interesting musical evolution, you know, because it's like, yeah, the first EP, which is like really, really good, traditional hardcore punk. Then you had Dance With Me, which had some more gothic rock elements. It was almost a horror punk album, but not quite. And then they Beneath the Shadows, I think the album is called. They have a lot of elements of like new wave and stuff, which at first I didn't like, but I kind of enjoy that album. And then like after that, there's another album which I haven't really listened to a lot of, but this album, it's just the album cover makes you like, you look at this album cover and you know it's going to be bad. Even if you like glam metal, this is just generic shit. Like, oh man, it just sucks. And they didn't even have Jack Grisham at this time either. And it's just not a very interesting album. And there's nothing about it I really like, so yeah. Number 5, we have a band that's had quite a few bad albums. And this is Megadeth with Super Collider. And when I say a few bad albums, I mean like Risk, Cryptic Writings, maybe The World Needs a Hero. But this album is their worst by far. I mean, like, at least Risk had some songs that were a little catchy, if they were a little cheesy and poppy. But no, Super Collider is just, they go for more hard rock, and it's just, it doesn't work. Dave Mustaine's voice, he doesn't have a hard rock voice, and his voice is really deteriorating. I just mispronounced deteriorating. But his voice is just getting worse and worse, and this isn't their latest album, but it really just kind of showed that Megadeth are kind of starting to go downhill, even though Dystopia was definitely an improvement, but I just really did not like this album. It was just really boring, and I don't know. Dave Mustaine, keep writing thrash metal, don't make any more hard rock. Number 4 is an album that I absolutely hate, and that is The Misfits with Devil's Reign. I cannot get into this album. I tried so hard with this album, and this is definitely by far my least favorite Misfits album, and one of the only ones I don't own, and I don't plan on getting it anytime soon. I mean, like, Jerry Only, he's not a Misfits vocalist. Not a Misfits vocalist. I had to say not an extra time because he is not a good vocalist for any band. He tries to sound like Danzig. Like, he's a good backup vocalist, don't get me wrong. But when he tries to sound like Danzig, he just can't do it. Like, he doesn't have a deep enough voice. He doesn't have as wide of a range. He sounds like a fucking bullfrog. It sucks. And the songwriting is pretty boring. Their lyrics aren't as... They've got way more tame, too, with Jerry Only, and especially on this album. This is like Misfits for, like, 9-year-olds on this album, basically. It's like, you know, you had the Danzig era where he talked about, like, rape and shit. And then you had Graves' era where he talked about, you know, cutting off his girlfriend's arms and legs. And then you have this era where he's, like, singing about, like, you know, like, fucking just really cheesy shit. It's not even cheesy in a good way like some other early Misfit stuff. It's cheesy in the way where it's like, it sounds like it was written just to appeal to, like, little kids, like the same way like the fucking Monster Mash would or something. That's what it feels like. I just can't get into it. And Jerry Only is a really bad vocalist. They don't have Doyle anymore, so they don't have that really cool guitar tone. They have Des Cadena, who is a good guitar player, but I just prefer Doyle. Des Cadena, let's face it, he's better for Black Flag. But Misfits Devil's Reign I did not like. Number 3 is an album that is very, very hated, and I cannot argue with the hate. And Metallica with Lulu. I was going to put Saint Anger, but there's not a lot to say about the album that hasn't been said. But Lulu is a musical abortion. It is so bad. It's like, oh man, I don't get it. The music, the instrumentals aren't very interesting. The, I guess, lyrics or whatever aren't interesting. It's just a very boring album. There's nothing interesting about it at all. The artwork is bizarre, and it's just really boring, and it's a disgrace to Metallica. Even, like, it makes Saint Anger look like a Holy Grail album. That's how bad Lulu is. Number 2, don't get me wrong, I love Black Flag. They are my favorite band of all time. But What The is a shit album. Oh my god. The title suits the album well, because maybe that's what they were thinking, like, they want the fans to think when you hear the album, like, what the fuck? It's just so bad. The mix is terrible. Like, it just sounds really, really, really bad. Like, even by punk standards, the mix is so bad. And then the vocals are really, like, weird sounding. I believe they had fuck, it escapes me. Chavo, I forget his real name. I'm stupid. The guy from the Jealous Again era. Shit, I can't remember. Fucking Ron Reyes, that's the guy's name. God, oh man, I have bad memory. Really bad with names. But I believe they got him back, and so it's like, no Henry Rollins, and they went back to that really basic punk style from their early releases. It's like, you know, they progressed a lot with Henry Rollins, and then it just feels like they just digressed right back to, like, Jealous Again or Nervous Breakdown era, which isn't a bad era of Black Flag by any means. I love that era, but it doesn't make sense that they digress back to that. The songwriting is really bad. It's just a really boring album. It's a waste of time. Don't listen to it. Number 1. Okay, this album, number 1, this album is not worth your time. Like, literally. Don't buy this. Don't ever buy this album just because of the band's name. Don't ever listen to this album. Don't even look it up and listen to it for free on YouTube. It's literally not worth your energy. Enemy. I don't know what I'm fucking saying anymore. It's not worth your energy to fucking click. It's that bad. I'm talking about Illa Divinium Insanus by Morbid Angel. This album is so fucking bad. It sucks. Oh, it's just... it's so bad. Where do I start? I mean, why? Just look at the track listing. Why the hell would a death metal band, like a really, really good and extreme death metal band from the early 90s, late 80s, have a song that's called Too Extreme? And then there's music on there is really bad too. Like, oh god, it's like all the music on there is just like they tried mixing their death metal, their really good death metal, with like really, really shitty industrial. Like it's like imagine like a really bad like wannabe Rob Zombie or something mixed with Morbid Angel. That's what it sounds like. It's like really generic industrial metal, not even good industrial metal, mixed with Morbid Angel. But like Morbid Angel at their worst, and it's just, oh, it's so bad. I hate this album, and the production is pretty bad too. Like, I literally got a fucking headache the first time because the drum sound is so bad. It's just not a fun album to listen to, and I haven't even listened to it in its entirety before. I've only listened to the first few seconds off of most of the songs, and I couldn't tolerate it. It's that bad. Oh god, if there's somebody that you really, really hate who's into metal, just buy them this album. It's that bad. Like, don't listen to this. Like, if you haven't heard this album and you're curious now, because I'm talking about how bad it is, literally, don't listen to it. You'll regret it. It's like, I would rather hit myself in the face with a hammer than listen to that album in its entirety. You know, I would rather listen to an entire shitty pop album than listen to this. That's how much I don't like this album. And for fuck's sake, even the title is bad, because they got, apparently, according to Wikipedia, which probably isn't correct, but I don't care, they didn't have correct Latin grammar for the album title either. Oh god, it's just, so yeah, my least favorite album by a band that I like is Illa Divinium Insanus by Morbid Angel. I mean, I fucking love Morbid Angel, you know, Blessed Are the Sick, Altars of Madness, Covenant, Domination, fucking great albums, but the newest album sucks. I believe they're working on a new album, though, and they have the other guy, not David Vincent, so, I don't know. It's probably going to be good. But, I just hope that they can improve on this. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you disagree, that's still fine. I don't really care what your opinion is. Unless you're like... I don't really care if you disagree with me, just as long as you're not an asshole about it.